So it's very interesting to me that the personal growth side of it is essentially like the manual, the instruction book on how to be an effective human being, how to actually make the most of this life that we have on earth. But most people aren't pursuing this. They're not interested in it. They're not curious about it. They're not fascinated by it. They're not asking those questions. That to me is insane. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Diamond Life Mentor Podcast with your host, Balazs W Kardos. And this episode is episode number 88, double eights. The abundance frequency, wealth, success. And it made me think about just how powerful it is to be financially free. And the stigma around, money cannot buy happiness is very popular belief in society. And I never have agreed with that. I've never believed that. And I feel like that is a belief that has been instilled in society so that people don't try to break free, that they don't pursue freedom, that they don't go after their dreams, that they settle for the struggle that comes with not having enough money. And so I believe that money does in fact buy happiness. And I'm going to talk about 10 reasons, 10 key distinctions in this episode that I hope opens up your mind to start shifting your perspective and your own personal beliefs that you have about money and about the connection between money and happiness. And that in fact, it is very much correlated. And I'm going to share with you exactly why that is, and my own journey, my own experience of realizing just how much happier I am with financial abundance. Now, as you guys may also know at the time of this recording, just a little side note, the arrival of my son is still not here. He's currently 3 days past due, and we're impatiently waiting for his arrival. Margaret is doing well. She's becoming more and more uncomfortable by the day, but we're really enjoying this precious quality time, this peace. It has started to rain and get quite cold in the area where we live. So it's just kind of cozy season, right? Soups and the fireplace is on, and really just enjoying this time doing arts and crafts and talking and planning and hanging out in baby boy's nursery, and just really starting to let it drop in and land the shift that's about to take place with our family expanding with another addition. So that's a little update for you guys. He may be here by the time this episode drops, but at the time of this recording, he's still not here yet. So let's dive into this topic that I feel like affects people so much. And from my experience, I've noticed that people have this battle within themselves where they want to choose, do I want to be happy or do I want to be financially free? And because these are a conflict for a lot of people's belief system, you will often notice that people choose to basically say, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to be accept, very little financially speaking, and use all kinds of justifications and examples for why people, let's say in third world countries that live in huts and they're living in the dirt and they don't have technology or big houses or, first world resources and so forth, often people will do like a philanthropy trip to those places, and one of their takeaways when they come back is, wow, they have very little or nothing from a material standpoint, but they're so happy, right? They're smiling, they're dancing, they're grateful, they're present in the moment, and all this kind of thing. And while I do agree that that is beautiful and it definitely should be this way, my perception around why that is because they don't have the contrast They don't know what it's like to have those things. And people around them also don't have a lot of that stuff. And so if nobody has it and you're born into it and it's just the way it is, then I think that human nature naturally is going to gravitate towards being grateful for what you do have, which may be very little compared to comparing it to first world countries and stuff. But I also feel like if you are in a society where people have more access to technology and social media and resources, and you can actually see the wealth gap, it is much more relevant for people to notice that, hey, the quality of life actually can significantly improve. So I know this is a controversial perspective, but regardless of what anybody else thinks, regardless of what you think, this is my own personal belief system. And as a reminder, I've been on both sides of the fence. I've been on both sides of the coin. I've experienced life in lack, scarcity, struggle, being behind on my bills, having debt collectors calling me, not being able to afford food, never traveling, never having new stuff for a really long time. And it wasn't until I got into sales and started to become a producer, which is significant, right? You can be somebody who gets paid to show up for their time and to complete tasks and things, which is fine. But when you become a producer, when you add value, when you grow based on your knowledge and your experience and your skill set and solving problems, you will be compensated for your performance. You will be compensated for your production and your value that you're adding into a business that you are affiliated for or working for in a sales role. And if you're great at sales, you will never go hungry. You will never go broke, because every business under the sun is always looking for better salespeople to produce more revenue, to produce more results. And when I first grasped this concept, when I started doing door-to-door sales and I started to actually devote myself to learning, to studying, to reading books on sales and my mindset and understanding my own beliefs around it, I was shocked to realize that the average person's belief around specific details to do with money, to do with wealth, to do with financial freedom, and so on, is literally the smallest little distinction. And most of the time, it's a direct opposite belief of somebody who is wealthy and well off, which is quite fascinating. So a lot of our limiting beliefs are just literally backwards to what they could be. And that's not an accident. I believe that that has been intentionally programmed into society through school, through the church, through society and governments and all kinds of little things that program us when we're young. It is not an accident that the majority of human beings have backwards beliefs around wealth and freedom. So this episode is going to be called The Price of Freedom, all right? And basically the price of freedom and why money does buy happiness. And we're going to talk about 10, there's way more than 10, but I'm going to just focus on 10 ones that, if you agree with these 10 points that I'm going to make on this episode, then you will also agree by the end of this episode, from this day moving forward, that money does, in fact, buy you more happiness. So the first one, and it's quite obvious, is freedom and peace of mind, right? Financial security eliminates the stress that you have over bills, over debt, over unexpected expenses. And this freedom lets you focus on what truly matters, like family and personal fulfillment. So when your life gravitates around going to work, getting ready to go to work, coming home to go to work, making your decisions based on the price tags of everything that you see, right? From food to clothing to activities to the vehicle you drive and the places you visit and the trips you go on. If everything revolves around price, and that's always on your mind, which it is for most people, and some of them aren't even aware. Like, some people are not aware how much money has a grasp over their thoughts, and that everything they do, somehow very quickly, it's about the money side of it, right? So if we look at it from that point of view, and we eliminate this thought process to do with money, wouldn't you assume that you're happier when this isn't running your thought process, right? Like worrying about money, worrying about can you afford it, having this like negative emotions around it. How does that correlate with happiness? I don't believe it does. So when you remove this equation and you can just feel good and feel at peace and basically go, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to eat, this is where I want to visit, this is what I want to wear, this is whatever. And it's just because you want to, because of the quality, because how it makes you feel and so on. That to me has always made me so much happier than when I was like contemplating and all this stuff, right? And it's like exhausting. It really is super exhausting. And I didn't realize how exhausting it actually was until I stopped doing it because I had the financial means to give me that peace. And a lot of people don't even know what life could be like because that's all they've ever known. So that's the first point, right? Is that money can buy happiness because it gives you more freedom and it gives you more peace of mind. The second point is that money will buy you better experiences and help you create better memories. Money allows you to travel the world, right? Really see our planet for all that it is. It's so beautiful. It's so diverse. It's so wildly different in different countries, different continents, different places, right? You really do get to have this abundance of, I didn't even know that this part of the world makes me feel like this, or this is the culture, or this is what is unique about it from a natural landscape or activities or businesses, or, you know, there's so many places that we've gone to that have unique destinations, unique experiences that are not available in other parts of the world. And that makes your life experience more vast. You know, I think it provides richness and depth to your soul and your perspective around humanity and actually making you feel like we're all one because Mother Nature belongs to all of us. But if we choose to stay in this very small, tiny little place on this massive planet because we don't have the financial resources to go and explore and go check things off the bucket list that you've always wanted to see and experience in person, then that's kind of like hiding in a closet of your house and never leaving the closet. But there's like other rooms and there's other places and vibes and energies in your own home, right? And planet Earth is our home. So you can attend events. You can do stuff that from an energetic standpoint, I've been to the Super Bowl, for example. I've been to some of the most popular artists' concerts. And when you get people in a room where there's that much positive energy and all these human beings start to be connected at this frequency, it gives you a feeling inside your body, like the vibration of your cells that you just can't replicate online, through a video, through YouTube or social media. Like you have to feel it to experience it. And the most transformational events in my life have been personal development type of events, right? Business events, personal development events, where people are going there with questions and contemplation and wondering, how do I unlock this part of myself? I've wanted to improve in XYZ topic. Why don't I just go to the conference or the event of the year on this subject and immerse myself and network with other human beings that are like-minded? And all of that costs money, from the ticket to the flight to the hotel, you know, buying yourself like some kind of outfit for the event. It could literally cost thousands of dollars to attend these things. And if you don't have the money to do it, you're not attending those events. And if you're not attending those events, your personal development is not growing and evolving and enhancing. And so you're getting older, but your mindset remains the same. And that's why I believe that every year when our birthday comes around, you either level up or you stay the same and just get older. And so you could say like, I'm turning, 39 years old, which may actually mean that you're going to be the same in terms of your mindset as when you were 38. But if you say that I'm like turning to level 39, then that has to include you leveling up and becoming a new level of yourself, okay? And also unique memories with loved ones, enriching your relationships and personal growth through shared experiences. Now, my daughter is going to turn 4 pretty soon here. And it's been really fascinating from my perspective on traveling so much with Valentina, my mom, my wife, my brother, and doing really cool stuff in different parts of the world. And at the age of 3, she's been to San Diego, she's been to Hawaii, she's been to London, she's been to Hungary, she's been to Croatia, she's been to Tokyo, she's been to Okinawa, she's been to Disney World in Orlando. Like, she's gone on at least 10 trips on airplanes by the age of 3. And what's really cool about this is people will say, like, kids don't remember any of these trips at such a young age. And that may be true. I'm not too sure. But one thing for sure is that as adults, we do remember. And being a parent is just as important for your own experience as it is for the experience that you give your kids. So if you don't have a lot of money, then you're going to justify not traveling with them before the age of 5 or before the age of 10 because you're basically trying to justify and say, well, they're not going to remember it anyways. But what about you? You're going to remember that you didn't do much. You're going to remember that you didn't go very many places. And so that's going to actually hurt your own experience and like make you feel like you're not really living life to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? And now when I talk with Valentina, she brings up these different cities and countries in regular day-to-day conversation. She'll be like, Dad, do you remember in London when we went to go see the Frozen play? No. Do you remember when we were in the Eye of London, Dad, and we got stuck at the top for 30 minutes? Dad, do you remember when we were in Disney World and this happened? Do you remember when we were in San Diego? Do you remember in Hawaii when we played in the pool? She's literally talking to me with this worldview, like talking about it the same way as if we're going to the park up the street as other kids might talk about. That to me blows my freaking mind. And it's so incredible for us to have these memories, to document it, to take pictures and videos, and actually be able to look back on it as something that shaped their beliefs, it shaped their worldview, it makes them accept different cultures, different skin colors, different languages. There's not this weird like racism stuff going on because my daughter has seen different skin colors in different places around the world where she just accepts everybody because why wouldn't she? We got on an airplane, we went over there, we hung out, she can hear the language on the radio or she can see the signs and there are different letters and she may not fully get it because she is only 3, but she will eventually have been affected in a positive way by this as the years go by. All right, so that was number 2, better experiences and memories. Number 3, time optimization. This is one of my favorite topics, okay? And my mindset shifted many, many years ago around money, make more money, because I thought that money would solve my problems. But what I realized a little bit later is that that was only one key piece. The other piece was actually how I took the money and bought back my life. And what I mean by that is when you actually quantify how much time you spend on menial tasks on a daily basis that most people accept to be part of life, you will be absolutely shocked that if you multiply it by weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, decades of your life, and you get to, let's say, age 80 or age 100 before you pass away, and someone asked you, like, just curious, how much of your life did you spend washing the dishes? How much of your life did you spend on doing laundry? How much of your life did you spend on buying groceries? Or whatever it may be. Stuff that, yes, it's necessary, and yes, we need to do those things, but you personally don't need to do it. What actually matters is that it gets done, and that it's put away, and there's groceries in the fridge, and there's clean clothes in your closet, and the house is clean, and the laundry's done, and so on and so on. That's what actually matters, is the end result. What doesn't matter is that you personally are doing it. Now, at the same time, how often does someone make an excuse where I don't have time to go to the gym because I have so much laundry to wash and clean and dry and fold, and it's going to take me 2 hours. So I don't have time to go to the gym because I got to do the laundry. This is backwards. Someone else should be doing the laundry. You should be going to the gym, because no matter how nice it would be, we cannot pay someone else to go to the gym for us and exercise our bodies. Make sense? So outsourcing tasks like errands, cleaning, cooking, organizing, decluttering, donating, recycling, garbage, landscaping, mechanical stuff on the car. There's literally an endless amount of tasks that are super, super time consuming, that are taking away from your personal goals that only you can actually focus on and do yourself, and also spending time on things that you actually enjoy, that bring you joy, bring you happiness, bring you fulfillment. So doesn't money in fact buy you happiness when I can pay someone to do the things that are annoying, frustrating, time-consuming? I'm not even good at them. Like me cleaning the kitchen, I'm not good at that. You know what I mean? Like I'll do it, but I'm not good at it. I don't enjoy it. It pisses me off. And all I think about the entire time while I'm doing it is I wish I was doing something else. And so that's not happiness. Does that make sense? But here's the thing that's interesting. When the kitchen is clean, when the laundry is done, when everything's put away, a lot of people will say that gives me a sense of purpose. It gives me a sense of fulfillment. It gives me a sense of happiness because it's clean and it's done and it's put away and I feel good about that. But here's the interesting thing. If someone else did it, it gives you the exact same feeling. That's the interesting part, because the feeling is actually around the pride that your home is tidy, that your home is clean, that everything is put away. That's where the feeling comes from. It's not actually from the labor of you doing it yourself, all right? So that's number 3, is time optimization, how you can outsource tasks, take things off of your plate and add in more of the stuff that you want to do that is more of a want, not a need. It's something that fills up your cup. It is nourishing for your soul. It is self-care. It is gym. It is health. It is family. It's making love to your spouse. It is picking up a passion, learning a new skill, learning a language, learning a hobby, all this stuff that requires you to do it and nobody else can do it for you. Okay? That's number 3. Number 4 is a massive, huge thing, is access to health and wellness resources. You know, money enables you to afford high-quality healthcare, organic foods and supplements, fitness training and personal trainers and coaches on all different types of stuff around your health, naturopathic doctors, you know, getting yourself IV drips, getting all kinds of higher quality testing done to make sure that there's no disease in your body or that your blood work or your hormones aren't completely out of whack. All of this stuff costs money. You know, wellness retreats, being able to go away for the weekend to rejuvenate your body and your soul and do cleanses or all kinds of things, right? It helps you stay physically and mentally healthy for the long term. Longevity is something that is actually a privilege. It is not something that you automatically are technically entitled to, right? And when you look at the average life expectancy, that includes everybody in every economic class with every different amount of financial resources. But when you have less stress, more peace of mind, more time freedom, more financial freedom, more happiness with the people you love, more time to take care of yourself, go to the gym, buy quality ingredients and food, do you think that's going to make you happier? Do you think that's going to make you live longer and have better quality of life? Of course it is, right? So money does in fact buy you more happiness. Number 5, opportunities for personal growth, right? I think one of the most fascinating things around personal growth and personal development is that anybody technically can have a kid, right? And I talked a little bit about this in my last couple episodes, talking about my son being born soon and how interesting it is that, yes, almost anybody can have a kid. and there's no test, there's no requirement, there's no like degree that you need to pass on parenting. It's just like, you just do the dang thing, and if you get pregnant, you pop a kid out, and next thing you know, you're a parent. And it's like, now you could literally have a child growing up in like a crack house, you know what I mean? Or you can have a child growing up in a family of love and abundance, and like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like so interesting how there isn't a qualification. Like, you need a driver's license to drive a car, but you don't need a parenting license to have a kid. That to me is weird. But anyways, besides that, the next point that I'm trying to make is like, when we're born, we don't have an instruction manual, okay? So the parents didn't take a test. They didn't get qualified. They didn't get licensed. They don't have an instruction manual on what they should or shouldn't do, what they should or shouldn't teach the kid. So everybody basically raises their kids on completely different set of knowledge and skills and values and beliefs and all this kind of stuff. So we don't have an instruction manual, and therefore we don't really understand who we are, why we are the way we are, how our minds work, how our physiology works, how our biology works, none of that stuff, okay? So then some people literally go through their entire lives never stopping and never questioning, like, maybe I should learn about this stuff. Maybe I should go and read a book on psychology from the foremost expert on psychology. Maybe I should read a book or go to a course or go to an event or hire a coach on nutrition and health and wellness and vitality and so on and so on. So it's very interesting to me that the personal growth side of it is essentially like the manual, the instruction book on how to be an effective human being, how to actually make the most of this life that we have on earth. But most people aren't pursuing this. They're not interested in it. They're not curious about it. They're not fascinated by it. They're not asking those questions. That to me is insane. How could somebody do that? So the only thing I can think of is people don't have time because they're so busy on the rat race hamster wheel, just paycheck to paycheck, running, surviving, in stress, in chaos, right? That it's like the thought of like drinking a cup of tea and reading a book and learning some stuff. They're like, when? Nice try. I don't have time. But yet they'll have time for distractions. They'll have time for entertainment. They'll have time for movies and shows and sports and news and conspiracy theories and social media. They have time for that. So it's just a very fascinating thing to me that when you create the financial means, when you create the resources and have the time freedom, that you actually can dedicate a portion, a percentage of your income, of your wealth, of your finances towards opportunities for personal growth. Right? This could include courses, education, coaching, to expand your knowledge and skill set and enhance your sense of fulfillment and success. Because the more you understand yourself, the more you break through certain ways and patterns of seeing things and doing things, the more happy you're going to become. Because knowing yourself produces happiness. Being comfortable in your own skin produces happiness. And this is a lifelong pursuit. But if you're busy chasing the money and you're chasing it in an ineffective, inefficient way, that's trading your time for money, you're grinding, you're hustling, you're working 12-hour days, you're sacrificing everything else in your life except for trying to make money, then of course you won't be happy. You'll be miserable because you're just chasing the dollar, just chasing that money. All right? So that's number 5, opportunities for personal growth. Number 6, impact and contribution. When you have more, you can give more, right? And the thing is that in my own experience, as my wealth has grown, as my sense of peace and financial security has grown and grown and grown, you think about stuff so differently when it comes to how much it costs to help somebody pay for something or donate something, right? Like recently we did a whole cleaning out of our house in preparation for my son to be born. So we were kind of like purging some things. We were nesting, we were organizing, we were decluttering, all this kind of thing. And the quality of stuff that we happily donated or basically gave away like 90% off on like Facebook Marketplace is astonishing. It was like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff. And we didn't have the lack and scarcity around it to try to like make every single dollar and whatever. It's like, it was almost like a charitable donation and a gift, because we're like, other people could use this. And for us, we've already used it. We've already got value from it, and it's served its purpose. And now it's time to move on and give this to another family that could utilize it, from like baby clothes to furniture to all kinds of things. And that's just one example, but you can give back through other ways of donating to causes you believe in. Sometimes there's like GoFundMes of people. There's GoFundMes of people like I've never even met. I don't even know. I read their little story and they're affected, and I donate anonymously. I do that all the time, and it doesn't affect me financially. It's not coming out of my budget for my bills or this kind of thing, you know? Philanthropy, helping loved ones out, being able to hire people that are in your life, whether it's family or friends, you know, being able to afford to bring them into your world and your team and support them financially. It creates a deeper meaning and joy from serving others in that way. And when you see the impact on these people and they're crying with gratitude and like, thank you, and I can't believe you're doing this for me, that does create more happiness inside of yourself. So once again, money does, in fact, buy more happiness. Number 7, reducing life's daily frustrations, right? One of my favorite sayings that I've believed for so long is that if money can solve it, it's not truly a problem. So then someone would argue, but what if I don't have enough money to solve the problem? Well, exactly. That's the actual problem, is that you haven't found a way to get resourceful, to think outside the box, to develop some skills, and to earn leveraged income. Because if you earned enough passive leveraged income, and that passive leveraged income can solve most problems, then in fact, you don't really have problems that money can solve. The problems in your life are actually the ones that money cannot solve. And there's very, very few problems like that for most people. So there are minor inconveniences that can happen to everybody in daily life. And I'm sure you have experienced them yourselves on a regular basis, right? From your car breaking down to having a leak in the roof, maybe an appliance stops working correctly, maybe you need a repairman to come or fix the car, or all kinds of things can happen in life that if you can solve money and quickly hire someone to come, take care of it, replace it, whatever it might be, all of a sudden it's like the speed of solving the problem is so quick, because you're like, make a call, get the right person here, pay them money to fix it, boom, done. And recently, like I said, as we're nesting in preparation for my son, I was like, we did so much stuff. Like we got a built-in closet put in. It was 10 grand. It was a California closet. It was 10 grand. It's not cheap, but it's exactly the one we wanted. Okay. So it's like we called, they came down, super professional, designed it, installed it. We needed to get an electrical outlet behind on the wall that, because there's like a lighting system in the closet. Boom, made another call. My assistant, Cass, she called someone, electrician. The electrician came down, installed it. Put a light up on the ceiling, replace the lights. Like just boom, 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 getting stuff done. But it all cost a bunch of money. And it was just effortless. It was with ease, without frustration, without stress. Call the right person. What's the quote? Pay the money. Problem is solved. That is really, truly incredible. And I remember when I didn't have that. I remember when I had to be the one with my own hands trying to figure it out. I'm on YouTube. I'm trying to get instructions. I don't know what wires to cross. I don't know how to install it, or I make a mistake. I put a hole in the wrong place, and I'm like, shit. You know, and like, is that happiness? No, it's stressful. It's frustrating. You know, it causes anxiety. It's like, and then sometimes like your partner's trying to help, and then you get bicker at each other, and you're like, leave me alone. I'll figure it out. And that's not happiness. So once again, when you have less daily frustrations in life, it allows you to have less stress, more peace of mind, which leads to more happiness. So in fact, money does buy you more happiness. Number 8, improved relationships through quality of time. If you think about it, The only way that your relationships are going to blossom and flourish and grow and improve, and the connection being really strong, whether it's intimately with your spouse or your children in terms of quality time and bonding, or your friendships with people, or, being able to spend time at business events that might be a weekend or days or whatever it is, like all connections and relationships, you have to invest, you have to spend time with people. So if your financial resources can also provide you with more free time and more quality time that you then can nurture your relationships with, be able to travel and do cool stuff with, doesn't more happy relationships cause you more happiness? Does that make sense? So your relationships are directly correlated with how much space and time you're able to provide them. And one of the things that has always really been something on my mind around this is when we say like kids grow up so fast, right? Like you blink and they're growing up and all this kind of thing, and then they like graduate school and then they move out and they go to college or whatever. And while that is true, because your perception around them developing and growing up is definitely a thing, and I'm experiencing it as well with Valentina and soon my son as well. The part that's really interesting about this, though, is yes, they're turning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but how much time and quality time did you actually spend with them from age 0 when they're born all the way to, let's say, 18 years old? And if you're working outside of your home 8 hours a day minimum, some people are working even more than that, 10 hours, 12 hours. So you wake up early, you leave the house, you go work outside all day, the kids are at home or they're at daycare, they're at school, and then you come home, they might already be in bed, and if they're not in bed, they're tired, exhausted, ready to go to bed. Then you're coming home, you're tired, you're exhausted, you want to have a shower, you got to have some dinner. You try to cram everything into this short period of time, like 30 minutes or 60 minutes. Then it's time for the kids to go to bed. Then the kids don't want to go to bed because they miss you. So then there's this whole like nighttime, like authority clash of like, no, I don't want to. And then they piss you off, and then you get all stressed out, and then you're all frustrated. And then they finally go to bed, and then all of a sudden you barely have time with your spouse, and then you go to bed and you do it all over again. No wonder people are going to feel like, man, my kid is all of a sudden 18, because you've spent a fraction, a very small percentage of life and time with your kids. And so time just flashes before your eyes. But if you work with freedom and you've already created financial abundance, and you're able to like have slow mornings and spend time with your kids and do fun activities and homeschool and take them cool places and have all different kinds of experiences any day of the week, you are literally getting a multiplier of quality time with the people you love more. So if the average person passes away, let's say 80 or around there, just for an example, and we quantify how much time they spent washing the dishes, doing laundry, going to work, sitting in traffic, and so on and so on. And we separated that, and we pulled that away. Did you know that it's less than 10 years of your life that is left over for other things that you would consider like free time or quality time or whatever? So you are getting a fraction less of the total value of your life because you wasted it on so much stuff that you're not really actually wanting to do. You just feel obligated to do it. So this has been the major driving force for me, is that I've spent so much amazing quality time with my daughter, and she's only turning 4. And so I'm having a very different perception around time and experience with my daughter. Is I'm like, man, I feel like I've known her for 10 years and I've spent time with her for 10 years, even though she's only 3. And so you get this multiplier of 3x, 5x, 10x of quality time, because the majority of your 24 hours in a day are going towards more and more and more of the stuff that truly matters, that lights you up, that's important to you, and it fills your cup up, fills your heart up, and that leads to more happiness. I am so happy with my lifestyle. I'm so happy with the quality time that I spend with my family. And so money does, in fact, buy you more happiness. The next thing I'll share is enjoying luxuries. And these can be small daily luxuries all the way up to bigger luxuries. And the thing about this, right, is you got to shift your mindset from needs to wants. And I've talked about this on previous episodes, but so many people are just obsessed with this thought process that, well, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that, right? And it's like, I don't feel like that creates happiness, to be so restrictive, to always have a no attitude. No, can't afford that, don't need that. It's kind of like you're a dictator on the quality of your own life. You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't it feel so much better, more abundant, more happy to be like, yeah, of course, who cares? Like, you want to get that drink? Great. You want to go out for lunch? Cool. You want to pick that thing on the menu? Fine. You want to have a filet and a lobster for lunch on a random day of the week? Go for it. Isn't that create more happiness to just feel like you're fully in control of your abundance in your life? And, you know, when we're like, just back to the example around my son's room, is like, my wife's like shopping and checking out furniture and things like this, and we're looking at it. She's like, this is the one that I really want, but, you know, it's quite a bit of money and stuff. I'm like, let's get it. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, that's the one you really want. We're going to literally have this in his room. We're going to utilize it. We're going to look at it. We're going to enjoy it for years and years and years. And she's like, oh, okay. And like, sometimes like I remind her, like, it's okay. We can do it. That's why I've worked so hard. That's why I created so much leverage, is that we don't sit there and find the thing that we really want and then downgrade and settle and go, no, not that, no, not that. And this is how I've always seen it, you know? Like, when we get something, we get what we actually want. We don't get like some copycat version of it or some knockoff version of it, or we strip back everything that we really want and then we just settle for like, well, all we really need is a dresser and all it needs to have is a drawer, and we could just go to IKEA and get one of those. Like, no, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, way past that level, man. You know what I mean? Like, IKEA is good for some stuff. I'm not trying to talk shit specifically around IKEA, but it's like, everybody's got that, man. It's plain, it's vanilla. It's like, it's not the best quality by any stretch. And so all of a sudden it's like, we now have a frequency of want. We have a frequency of what we deserve. We have a frequency of what we are worthy of in every aspect of our lives. So when I walk into my son's room, it's quality. It's the best fabrics, right? It's not synthetic. It's not fake. It's none of this stuff. Even diapers, right? I mentioned this, I think, recently on one of the past episodes, is PFAs, right? Forever chemicals are in diapers. And even some of the brands that are considered like healthy brands have plastics in them that you're putting onto your baby's fragile skin that absorbs it, and it goes on their private parts and all this kind of stuff. And so we're literally importing a brand that has been tested. It's expensive, you know, and when you think about it, you're like, I'm paying premium money for a diaper that my kid's going to pee in and poop in, and then we're just going to toss it. Kind of seems insane, right? But at the same time, is like, I believe that this affects the biochemistry of my kid, and I'm not going to put this on their body at such a vulnerable young age. Instead, I'm going to invest in a better quality. So all I'm getting at here is that these are luxuries that some people think is foolish to spend money on, but it is all a matter of perspective. Because if you've worked hard and smart to create enough financial freedom and enough financial resources, then you should be able to treat yourself on small pleasures, big pleasures, things that are important to you, like the quality of food, the quality of clothes, the quality of anything really in your life, and be able to do it as you wish, as often as you wish. You want to dine out? Go for it. You want to go to the spa for the day and get massages and, you know, spend thousands of dollars at the spa? You can. You want to get the coolest equipment for your hobbies or your passions? Like in my home studio here, I have top of the line gear for everything, from my microphone to my MacBook to my lighting. Everything here is top quality because I know the value of quality. I know not only that it produces a better result, but I also know that it makes me feel better. And most of the things that we do as human beings are actually attached to the feeling that it gives us, whether that's peace, happiness, joy, success, status. It's all connected, right? So it boosts your daily happiness when your environment is curated in a way that is top-notch quality, best in class in the marketplace, whether it's anything really. And I'm telling you, it makes a massive difference to your happiness. So money does, in fact, buy you more happiness. And the last of the 10, number 10, is creating a legacy. And a legacy is so important because you're able to have legacy in different ways. You can have a lasting impact on your children and your extended family, and you can also provide better wealth and education and experiences and fostering a deep sense of purpose and fulfillment. And it's all connected towards like moving the needle forward, passing the torch to the next generation and saying like, I've taken it to this level. Now you carry the torch from this point forward, right? And the thing that I want to finish off with that I'm sure a lot of you are thinking is like, yeah, Balazs, blah, blah, blah. But what about the things money cannot buy? Such as love and purpose and health and deep connections. And that's really the unique perspective that I have, is I'm not saying that if you had all the money that you ever wanted and you were lonely, fat, with some diseases, and your kids hated you and you were never around and you were never present and you never cared and you weren't able to like provide more than just the money in your family or in your relationship or your marriage, then it wouldn't be able to buy you happiness. You would be empty. You would be hollow. You would be longing for more. You would be lonely. And there's a lot of people on the planet that are in that situation. And I get it. But what I'm saying is if you focus on the things that truly matter, and that's your highest value, like it is for me. My highest value is actually the things that money cannot buy. It's my marriage with my wife. It's my children. It's my health and my vitality. Those are the things that I value more than money. But I know that in order for me to not neglect those things, because I'm so busy providing and protecting and having to go to a job and not being around, how is that actually doing anybody a service? You know what I'm saying? So where a lot of people take this pride on the stance of like, oh, well, I'm not trying to make more money and money is the root of all evil and it's for greedy people and you don't need that and you don't need that. Like all this shit is like, bro, shut up. Shut up and listen to how dumb you sound from that perspective that makes zero sense. Because by me working hard and smart to create leverage and freedom, I have all of the quality of time to be with my wife, to be with my kids, to exercise and work out, to eat quality food, to do the stuff that money cannot buy, which actually just allows me more space, more presence, more focus on those things because money has already been solved and taken care of, which then adds me more happiness because peace and happiness go hand in hand. So I hope you really start to see that the majority of humans have the ignorance because they never had the instruction manual. They didn't take the class on parenting. So therefore, it's been the blind leading the blind leading the blind. It's been people who don't understand how life works, having kids, and then teaching them the wrong principles, the wrong beliefs around money, around health, around work, around career. Not everybody, of course, but yes, the majority. So you're just like never getting further along until someone like you, someone like myself, decides to go, no. Let me actively pursue this purpose, this mission of unlocking freedom, unlocking financial resources to then give me the space to discover who I am, what is important to me, go on this path of self-discovery because I'm not distracted by these obligations just to keep the lights on, just to basically, provide a little bit of security for my family and just be self-sacrificing myself in this process, which is where a lot of people, even in 2024 and beyond, find this pride. Oh, I'm doing it for my family. I'm never around. They never see me. I'm doing it for my family. I would die for my family. It's like, yes, but would you live for your family? Would you live for your family to the fullest? Would you experience life to the fullest for your family? Would you take care of your health and exercise and eat clean and eat organic food and drink the best water, Kangen water in the world for your family? Would you show them what's possible? Would you unlock limitless possibilities for your family? Because that is where the pride should really be coming from. And so my point that I hope made a lot of sense to you with these 10 reasons why money can buy you more happiness, especially when your values are still cultivated in the areas of love, of purpose, of health, right? And how the lifestyle of success and the lifestyle of happiness and the lifestyle of fulfillment are all intertwined. When we think about what is work and what is play and what is fun and what is part of your purpose or your calling, if you can find them all to intertwine and interlock and interconnect where there really is no separation between them, it's all just part of the game of life that you choose to play, there's nothing better. There really isn't, right? Because the better you become, the smarter, the healthier, the more self-evolved version of yourself you become, the more valuable you are to society, and the more valuable you are to society, the more income you can earn. And if you earn that income through something like a meaningful cause that's bigger than yourself, that is actually helping you unlock your purpose in life, which is to enhance humanity and to make a difference and to help other people with something that can improve their lives, it's exactly what we all are doing with Enagic, with the Global Prosperity Movement. So the fitter I get, the more inspiring I become. The more inspiring I become, the more people will join my business. The more people that join my business, the more income increases. The more income increases, the more freedom I get. The more freedom I get, the more lifestyle I get to enjoy with my family. The more lifestyle I get to enjoy with my family, the more of an example it is that it's possible. And it's just a positive, never-ending upwards success spiral that just enhances and improves year after year, decade after decade for the rest of your life. And that's because everything that I'm talking about right here is in full alignment with universal law, universal principles, and we are in the flow of how life is meant to be lived. And that is the point, is like we are giving people permission to see things from a new light, to break free from the conditioning and the systems and the matrix of all these constructs of like, you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to do that and don't believe this and these people are bad, when all of it is a distraction and an illusion from the truth. And interestingly enough, what we're all about is the truth. And once that truth lands for you and anyone else listening to this podcast or anybody else who generally understands these concepts, that's when you truly become free, because the veil has been lifted off of your eyes. You see the world completely from a new perspective and a new lens. And at that point, all you're doing is pursuing the truth. You're moving in accordance with your truth and universal truth. And there is no denying it. There's no stopping it. And the truth will always prevail. But first, it pisses people off, and then it sets people free. And I hope that this episode has been valuable for you to, in fact, double check your own beliefs around money and see if you're in conflict. See if there is something that you currently believe where you think that unlocking financial freedom and time freedom and location freedom is somehow going to make you less happier than not having those things and not having access to that lifestyle. And if you actually tap into that and you're like, I don't know, I think I'm a little bit confused here, or maybe I've always been taught this thing and I'm kind of going against it now and that's giving me this block, That's exactly the personal growth that you need to unlock for yourself to move past it and then realize that it just gets so much better, right? Like when you have the quality of life that I'm describing, you wonder how more people don't want to live this way. It becomes this like thing that kind of eats at you. You're like, why? Why are people okay with going through life and just struggling so much? It's like choosing to be punished when you don't have to be punished. But you do need to take different actions. You do need to make different choices. You do need to prioritize things that you haven't been prioritizing in order to get those new results. So, quick recap. The 10 reasons why money can buy happiness. Number 1, it gives you freedom and peace of mind. Number 2, it gives you better experiences and memories. Number 3, it gives you time optimization to allow to outsource things off of your plate. So it actually gives you more space to do the things that no one else can do for you. Number 4, access to health and wellness, best food, best quality, organic supplements, doctors, coaches, all that great stuff. Opportunities for personal growth, events, seminars, courses, mentorship, all of that. Impact and contribution, giving from the heart, not making it about the money, lighting someone up, helping solve someone else's emergencies, all without ever thinking twice about the money that you help somebody with. Number 7, reducing life's daily frustrations, the little piss-offs, the things that go sideways and break and you need some kind of help or you need to hire somebody. Easy, no worries, boom, no stress, more happiness. Number 8, improved relationships through the quality of time that you have with the people that you love. Travel, fun, bucket list adventures, all of that is truly remarkable. Enjoying small luxuries on a daily basis without thinking twice. And also big luxuries as well, like 5-star holidays. Trust me, you create better experiences when you have that level of service that you do on a 5-star holiday. And even just having like a really nice vehicle, right? It's comfortable, it's safe, it has features that makes driving around or going on road trips or just in general, more comfort leads to more happiness in those situations also. And number 10, finally, creating a lasting legacy of change for future generations, whether it's through your wealth, your education, your experiences, fostering a deep sense of purpose and fulfillment. When combined with things that money can't buy, such as love, health, purpose, and deep connections, financial abundance and time freedom becomes a tool to enhance overall happiness and life's quality and satisfaction. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Share it with your team, share it with your friends, shoot me a message, continue to pray for my son's healthy arrival and that Margaret's going to have a great delivery as pain-free as possible and a fast recovery. Pray for us, keep us in your thoughts. And hopefully by the time this episode comes out, my son is already in our arms and welcomed into this beautiful diamond life that we've built and created for myself, my wife, my daughter, and my son, and our family, with financial freedom, with time freedom, with location freedom, and a real sense of purpose and true fulfillment that makes us as happy as can be. And I want the same for you. So don't give up. Stick with it. Believe in yourself, continue to learn, continue to apply yourself, and know that it will all continue to be worth it as all the milestones that you're going on your journey continue to be achieved and unlocked and you level up. And my wish for you is to always believe that you can and eventually you will. And I'll see you guys on a future episode. Take care for now. Bye-bye.